Well, hello and welcome to Everything You've Learned About Dating and Relationships is Wrong. My name is Jonathon, and I'm a personal development coach specializing in dating and relationships for those folks in midlife. And our topic today, why you might be in a friends with benefits relationship, but you just don't know about it. So let me tell you where this post came about. I actually did a Facebook post a few days ago that said something like this. If after 6 months of being in a relationship, you're not working towards partnership, all you have is a companionship relationship. And while many applauded that post and gave a lot of likes, there were some people that were saying, hey, why are we not giving credit to those companionship relationships? And let me just be clear, I wasn't knocking companionship relationships. So I wanted to spend a few minutes today talking and differentiating what I meant with regards to partnership and companionship, and certainly we're going to talk about friends with benefits. So, in my point of view, I think it takes about 3 to 6 months to get to know someone if you're investing a fair amount of time, spending time together, doing shared activities, hobbies, mutual interests, spending time with family and friends, doing things together. If you're spending regular time together, after about 3 to 6 months, for those of us in midlife, it's not that hard to figure out who this person is. And to ask yourself, do I want to make an investment into deeper intimacy? Do I want to make an investment into partnership with this person? And for those folks that are seeking to at some point live together or maybe get married at some point, then after about the 6-month mark, it should start moving towards partnership-based activities. This is where you're making an investment in the relationship. You're actually talking about the relationship and where it's going. And you're even looking about creating roots. It's talking about financial things. It's about being supportive. It's about being a team with one another. Hey, sweetheart, I've got to catch a 5 a.m. flight. As much as I could take Uber, I'd love to take let me backtrack. I know you have a 6 a.m. flight. I know you can take an Uber, but you mean a lot to me. I'm going to drive you to the airport. That's what a team does. A team takes turns with each other doing the heavy lifting. And that's what partnership's all about. So now let's take a look at companionship, because I don't want to knock companionship-based relationships. And companionship-based relationships are basically relationships with two people that have agreed to monogamy and maybe even exclusivity. They basically said that we're going to be monogamous, we're going to be exclusive. However, we're going to keep our separate homes, keep our separate identities, and we're going to spend time together doing shared activities, hobbies, mutual interests, all this, without making an investment towards the future. And a lot of people at midlife, both men and women, would prefer not to co-join their relationship in some sort of partnership capacity. And I'm not knocking that. That is great for those who want that. Those relationships are there to oftentimes just fill that void of loneliness, or you feel a connection with another person. But there's always going to be tension if somebody wants something more in the relationship. If one person wants this and the other person's about here, there's always going to be that gap is called drama. That's what that gap is. That's called drama, whether it's the guy or the girl. Unless you're on the same page and having real serious conversations about the relationship, there's most always going to be tension if one person wants something more. It's what happens in these companionship relationships. And because they're not building roots or developing roots in the relationship, they're very easy to discard. And I know a lot of people can appreciate companionship-based relationships. Again, I'm not knocking it. You're more than welcome to have those. That's not how I operate. And I talk from that place of helping those pursue partnership. However, the older we get, I can see the attraction to it. I think for those folks between the ages of 40 and 55, most of them would like to see that next stage of their life maybe lead towards partnership. But for those folks in the 55 to 70 category, maybe companionship and relationships is perfect for them. And there might never be a root developed, and that's okay. And if the relationship ends, that's okay too. Again, I just want to differentiate when one person wants more and someone's over here. Okay, so why is this post about friends with benefits relationships? Because that's the way most people date today. They're spending time getting to know one another. They are basically developing a friendship with sex. And why I said why you might be in a friends with benefits relationship and don't know about it is because if you're not talking about whether or not you're boyfriend and girlfriend with one another, and I know that's kind of weird for those of us in our over 50 category to call it that, but to have some sort of label to say, hey, we're exclusive together and we are in a relationship, then all you have is a friends with benefits relationship. I think if you're not talking about some sort of discussion around monogamy or exclusivity the minute you begin having sex together, and if you're spending time together, then you're with a friends with benefits relationship. Excuse me, you're walking the wrong place. Someone just walked in my home and I'm shooting a video. That's okay. That's so weird. Someone just walked in my home because I didn't lock the door. Anyway, that was weird. Felt like I was getting robbed. Anyway, going back to friends with benefits relationships. What I'm really getting at is, if you're, especially for my audience that are women, don't take a long time to discuss where a relationship is going. Don't take a long time waiting for the man to make that choice. Speak up. Speak up what you want in a relationship and see if they're on the same page. Because this happens all too often. I talk to women all the time. They're in 4 or 5 or 6 month relationships, and there's no discussion of monogamy. There's no discussion of exclusivity. And what they're really in is a friends with benefits relationship. And I'd much rather you be more conscious and forthright and ask those questions than to just be silent about it. And again, you're welcome to do your own thing. You know, I'm not here to judge you. You're welcome to do your own thing. Again, I promote partnership. I promote that idea of let's start working together as a team and having those conversations early on. And certainly the first 3 months is that honeymoon period. You're just getting to know each other to see if you even like each other. Most people are starting their intimate relationship there. But if you really want to go that next level, then I would encourage you to begin the dialogue, to begin co-creating a relationship, to talk about what it looks like moving forward, and actually have discussions about creating those agreements and things to make it move forward. And having clarity on what that looks like for you. Sadly, today, most people don't know what commitment looks like. And that's why they're not having conversation around commitment. It makes me so sad when I talk to women that are in relationships that are sometimes 6 months, 1 year, or 2 years old, and they don't even know if they're in a committed relationship. And I know a few of you are going, well, come on, that woman must be stupid. I'm like, no. You don't give the job to the man. That is your job to discuss what you want in a relationship. And it's his job to discuss what he wants in a relationship. And if you're aligned, great. But if you're misaligned, whatever that looks like on the camera, then have a conversation, come to some agreements. Because what the fuck's the point if you're just going to have another start and stop over and over and over again? And after a while, and for those of you that are in midlife, especially over 55, you know how frustrating and how challenging it is just to meet someone new that you like. And again, I'm not knocking those companionship relationships. All I'm saying is speak up, share your truth, do it with kindness, do it with honesty, do it with transparency, and see if the other person's on the same page. So there you have it, my Facebook Live with the interruption of someone walking into my place. That was so weird. I'm still kind of verklempt over the whole thing. I hope you got value out of this. Again, I am here to encourage healthy, happy partnerships. If you want to learn more or you want to create a dialogue, let's get a discussion going about what I shared today right here. And if you'd like to learn more about my programs, whether it's Midlife Love Mastery, which is a fantastic program at a very low price. It's a collective community talking about these things. We shoot 3 videos a week for the group. And we have a once a month live workshop that you can be a part of, a webinar. And also my Shortcut to Mr. Right program. That's my private one-on-one coaching program to help you cut through the crap and get right to having clarity of what you're looking for in a relationship So you can bypass wasting all that time with those emotionally unavailable men and those men that don't know what they're doing and don't know what they want. That's my shortcut to Mr. Right program. As always, I want to thank you so much for allowing me to share, and I'm going to give you a big, gigantic Jonathon bear hug. Thanks so much. Bye-bye now.